The world watched in stunned silence. Keanu Reeves, the man who once dodged bullets in The Matrix, now stood before a room filled with the brightest minds in aerospace. Behind him, a holographic projection of an entirely new propulsion system floated midair, equations dancing like stars in a cosmic ballet. At the same time, halfway across the globe, Elon Musk stepped onto a dimly lit set. The cameras rolled. In a perfectly choreographed fight sequence, he disarmed an assassin with the grace of a trained action star. The director yelled, "Cut!" and applause erupted. No one could believe it. The impossible had happened. But how did they get here? Let's rewind. It started with an accident. An accidental meeting, to be precise. A grand charity gala in Los Angeles. Champagne glasses clinked, soft jazz played, and the world's elite mingled under a dome of shimmering lights. Keanu Reeves, dressed in a simple black suit, stood alone at the bar, stirring a whiskey glass with absent-minded ease. He never cared much for these events, but had come to support an orphanage. "Elon Musk," a voice behind him said. Keanu turned. There he was, the man himself, sipping an energy drink instead of champagne. "You're Keanu Reeves," Elon said, almost as if confirming a scientific theory. Keanu smirked. "Guilty?" They shook hands. And just like that, two titans of completely different worlds found themselves in an unexpected conversation, one that would change their lives forever. The night unfolded like an unscripted scene in a movie. Keanu and Elon found themselves seated at the same dinner table. The conversation started light: philosophy, AI, electric cars, and, of course, The Matrix. But soon it spiraled into something deeper. "You know," Keanu said, swirling his drink, "making a good movie is incredibly hard. The writing, the directing, the acting, it's an art. And the audience is ruthless. If you're not believable, they see right through you." Elon chuckled. "Movies are tough, sure, but try landing a rocket on a moving drone ship in the middle of the ocean. Science doesn't care about emotions. It either works or it doesn't." Keanu leaned forward. "Acting isn't just pretending, it's becoming. You have to train your body, your mind, your emotions. Can you do that?" Elon smirked. "Can you learn orbital mechanics?" Silence. The air between them crackled with unspoken challenge. And then, in a moment of pure madness, it happened. "Let's make a bet," Elon said, setting his glass down. "You try to learn rocket science. I'll try to become an actor. We've got 1 year. Winner gets the bragging rights of a lifetime." Keanu raised an eyebrow. "And how do we measure success?" Elon thought for a second. "You have to design a working propulsion system that impresses my engineers at SpaceX." Keanu smirked. "Fine. And you? You have to get a major role in John Wick 5. The room went silent. A waiter, mid-pour, almost spilled wine. Elon extended his hand. "Deal?" Keanu looked at it for a moment, then shook it firmly. "Deal." And just like that, the most impossible bet in history was made. What they didn't know was how much this bet would change them, and neither of them was prepared for the twist that awaited them. The next day, Keanu Reeves walked into the SpaceX headquarters. He had no idea what he was doing. He sat in a conference room as a team of engineers, led by Gwynne Shotwell, bombarded him with equations, rocket schematics, and mathematical formulas that looked like alien language. "You okay?" one of the engineers asked. Keanu just nodded. "Yeah, I just need a minute." He was Keanu Reeves. He had trained in martial arts for The Matrix. He had mastered weapons for John Wick. But this was a different kind of war, so he did what he always did. He started training. Meanwhile, Elon Musk was having a crisis of his own. Somewhere in a private acting studio in Los Angeles, he stood in front of an acting coach who had just asked him a simple question. "Okay, Elon, now, cry." Elon stared blankly. "Cry? Why?" The coach sighed. "Because acting is about emotions. You have to feel something." Elon took a deep breath. He had built Tesla. He had sent rockets to space. He had revolutionized the world. But right now, he was failing, and failure was not an option. Keanu stared at the whiteboard covered in equations. His brain felt like it had been set on fire. "Okay," an engineer said. "Let's start with Newton's third law." Keanu took a deep breath. "Equal and opposite reactions, right?" "Right," the engineer nodded. "Now apply that to propulsion." Keanu blinked. His mind was used to memorizing scripts, choreographing action sequences, and embodying characters. But this was numbers, calculations, and physics so advanced it felt like magic. He scribbled something down. F equals ma. "That's a start," the engineer encouraged, but deep down, Keanu knew the truth. He was in over his head. Elon Musk was failing. The acting coach sat across from him, unimpressed. "You sound like you're reading a PowerPoint presentation," she sighed. Elon frowned. "But I memorized the script." "That's the problem," she shot back. "Acting isn't memorization, it's feeling." Elon exhaled sharply. Feeling. He hated that word. "Again," the coach instructed. Elon clenched his jaw and delivered the line again, still robotic. "Elon," she said softly, "you can build rockets, but can you build a human connection?" For the first time in years, Elon Musk had no answer. Weeks passed, then months. Keanu pushed himself harder than ever before. Late nights at SpaceX turned into early mornings. His walls were covered in diagrams of ion thrusters and plasma propulsion. He had notebooks filled with equations. His fingers were stained with ink from endless calculations. But nothing made sense. One night at 3 a.m., he sat alone in his apartment, staring at a propulsion blueprint. "Maybe this was a mistake," he muttered. Then a message popped up on his phone. Elon Musk. "Having fun yet?" Keanu stared at the message. Then he smiled. He wasn't giving up. Meanwhile, Elon was battling his own demons. He had hired stunt trainers. He had taken acting classes. He had memorized scenes. But something was missing. He stood in front of a mirror, repeating a line from John Wick 5. "If you want peace, prepare for war." The words sounded empty. He sighed. Then his phone buzzed. Keanu Reeves. "Having fun yet?" Elon smirked. He wasn't giving up either. Keanu sat in a SpaceX lab surrounded by engineers. For months he had studied propulsion systems, but he still felt like an outsider. Then, one day, while reviewing ion propulsion, something clicked. "What if we combine electromagnetic acceleration with traditional chemical propulsion?" Keanu muttered. The engineers stared. "Say that again?" one of them asked. Keanu grabbed a marker and started sketching on the board. "We use an initial chemical thrust to get out of the atmosphere, then switch to an ion-based system in space. We get the best of both worlds, efficiency and power." Silence. Then an engineer whispered, "Holy shit." It worked. Keanu Reeves had just designed a theoretical propulsion system. On a closed film set, he stood in front of Keanu. The cameras were rolling. The director was watching. The pressure was real. Keanu leaned in, whispering just loud enough for Elon to hear. "Forget the lines. Just feel it." Elon closed his eyes. For the first time, he stopped thinking like an engineer, and when he delivered his next line, the director sat up. Elon Musk had just acted. 1 year had passed. The world had caught wind of the impossible bet between Elon Musk and Keanu Reeves. The internet was on fire with speculation. Would Keanu actually design a propulsion system? Could Elon really act in a major Hollywood film? And now the moment had arrived. Keanu stood in a massive auditorium at SpaceX headquarters. Behind him, a sleek, futuristic blueprint of a new propulsion system, his propulsion system, was displayed on a massive screen. Engineers, scientists, and even SpaceX executives stared in anticipation. Keanu cleared his throat. "I'm not a scientist," he began, "but I've spent the last year trying to think like one, and I believe this might actually work." He clicked a button. A simulation began running. The propulsion system, Keanu's hybrid model, fired up on the screen. The numbers didn't lie. It was efficient. It was powerful. It was real. A murmur ran through the crowd. Then someone stood up and started clapping. Then another. Then the whole room erupted in applause. Elon Musk, standing in the back, smirked. "Not bad, Mr. Reeves. Not bad at all." Halfway across the world, in a dimly lit movie theater, the latest John Wick film premiered. The audience was packed. No one knew what to expect. Then it happened. A fight sequence erupted on screen. John Wick, battered and bruised, stumbled into a secret underground bunker. A mysterious figure emerged from the shadows. The audience gasped. It was Elon Musk, dressed in a sleek, all-black assassin's outfit. He delivered his line. "You're not the only one who can defy the odds, John." Then, in a shocking twist, he engaged in a brutal hand-to-hand fight with Keanu himself. The choreography was tight. The intensity was real, and Elon wasn't just surviving. He was acting. The audience lost their minds. The world was in shock. Keanu Reeves, the Hollywood superstar, had designed a working propulsion system that SpaceX was now considering for future missions. Elon Musk, the tech genius, had not only landed a role in John Wick 5, but had delivered a performance that was, against all odds, good. And now, standing on a rooftop overlooking Los Angeles, Keanu and Elon clinked whiskey glasses. "Guess we both won," Keanu said. Elon smirked. "Or we both lost. Now we both have two careers to juggle." Keanu laughed. "You ever think we should have bet on something easier?" Elon took a sip. "Like what?" "World peace?" Keanu shook his head, smiling. "Nah, that's too easy for us." They stood in silence, looking at the city below. Two men, two impossible dreams, one crazy bet, and somehow, against all logic, they had both made the impossible possible. A month later, an official SpaceX press release stunned the world. Keanu Reeves's propulsion design had been approved for prototype testing. NASA was now funding its development. And the name of the system? The Wick drive. Elon Musk tweeted 3 words that sent the internet into chaos: Baba Yaga propulsion. Meanwhile, in Hollywood, directors and producers were buzzing. Elon Musk had been offered another acting role in a biopic about a visionary tech billionaire who changed the world. The title? Musk. And the director? Keanu Reeves. The bet had ended, but their story had just begun. The bet was over, but neither Elon nor Keanu could walk away from what they had discovered. Keanu had fallen in love with the science of space travel. He wasn't just an actor anymore, he was a thinker, a dreamer, a problem solver. He spent more and more time at SpaceX, refining the Wick drive, pushing boundaries. Elon, on the other hand, had developed an obsession with storytelling. Acting had unlocked something inside him, a part of his mind that wasn't bound by logic and equations. He started writing, pitching ideas for sci-fi films, and secretly taking on small voice acting roles in animated projects. But just when they thought things couldn't get crazier, a new challenge arrived. One morning, Keanu was in a SpaceX lab when his phone rang. It was an unknown number. "Hello?" "Mr. Reeves," a voice said. "This is the White House. The President would like to speak with you." Keanu raised an eyebrow. Okay?" A moment later, the voice of the most powerful person in the world came through the speaker. "Keanu, Elon, we need your help." Keanu sat up straight. "We?" the president chuckled. "I'm calling Musk next." "What's this about?" Keanu asked. The president sighed. "NASA has detected something, an object. It's heading toward Earth, and we need the brightest minds in both science and storytelling to figure out what to do next." Keanu froze. At that exact moment, Elon Musk's phone buzzed. A new message. "White House. We need you. Urgent." Elon's eyes narrowed. The bet had been won, but a new mission had just begun. Keanu Reeves and Elon Musk sat in the Oval Office facing the President of the United States. On the table before them was a classified NASA report. The headline read, "Object 927X, Unknown Celestial Body on Collision Course with Earth." Keanu exhaled slowly. "How big are we talking?" A NASA scientist cleared his throat. "Big enough to cause irreversible damage. It's not an extinction-level event, but if it hits, millions of lives could be at risk." Elon leaned forward. "And why exactly do you need us?" The president steepled his fingers. "Because we don't have time for traditional solutions. NASA believes your propulsion system, the Wick drive, might be our best shot at diverting this thing before it's too late." Keanu's eyes widened. "Wait, you want me to test it? In space?" The president nodded. "We need to accelerate development, and as the man who designed it, you might be the best person to help deploy it." Keanu sat back, running a hand through his hair. He was an actor, a martial artist, a student of science at best. Now they wanted him to take his theoretical propulsion system and test it in the real world, in space. He looked at Elon. "You're coming with me, right?" Elon smirked. I was hoping to just send you up there and watch from the ground, but sure, why not?" The president looked between them. "Gentlemen, you started as a joke, a bet, but now you might be the only two people who can pull this off." Silence. Then Keanu chuckled. "This is insane," Elon grinned. "Yeah, but so was our bet." Keanu exhaled. "All right, Mr. Musk, let's build a spaceship." Keanu had learned rocket science. Elon had learned acting. But now they had to learn how to be astronauts. For the next 3 months, they trained at NASA's Johnson Space Center. Keanu endured brutal G-force simulations, underwater zero-gravity training, and emergency drills. His body, built for fight choreography, adapted quickly, but the mental strain was unlike anything he had ever faced. Elon, on the other hand, struggled. Badly. "You vomited again?" Keanu teased as they sat in a debriefing room. Elon groaned, holding his stomach. "I can build spaceships. I can't be in them." "You better fix that fast," Keanu smirked, "because in 2 months, we're launching." Elon wiped his face. This was a mistake. Keanu leaned back. "You said that about acting. Look at you now. John Wick's greatest enemy." Elon sighed. "You're enjoying this, aren't you?" Keanu grinned. "A little?" NASA's Kennedy Space Center. A massive crowd had gathered. News cameras broadcasted live to millions around the world. On the launch pad stood EOS-1, the first spacecraft equipped with the Wick drive. At its helm, Keanu Reeves and Elon Musk. As they sat strapped into their seats, the mission control room buzzed with last-minute checks. "Keanu, Elon, do you copy?" Keanu smirked. "Loud and clear, Houston." Elon, adjusting his helmet, muttered, "I swear if I throw up in this helmet, I'm suing NASA." "Copy that," Mission Control responded, chuckling. Then, T-10, 9, 8. The engines roared. The world held its breath. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. The force of the launch pressed them into their seats as EOS-1 ascended into the heavens. The ground fell away. The sky turned black. For the first time in history, an actor and an entrepreneur were about to save the world. The moment EOS-1 broke through Earth's atmosphere, everything changed. The roar of the engines faded. The vibrations of launch disappeared. Keanu Reeves and Elon Musk floated in perfect, eerie silence. "Whoa," Keanu whispered, staring out the window at the vast emptiness. Elon, still gripping his seat, muttered, "Okay, I take it back. This is pretty cool." Mission Control's voice crackled in their earpieces. EOS-1, you're go for orbit, confirming trajectory toward Object 927X. Keanu took a deep breath. "Copy that, Houston. Setting course now." Elon reached for the control panel, hands surprisingly steady. The Wick drive's interface, a combination of traditional NASA systems and bleeding-edge SpaceX tech, displayed their destination, a rapidly approaching asteroid hurtling through space. "All right," Elon murmured. "Let's see if this thing actually works." He flipped a switch. The Wick drive hummed to life. Blue plasma streaks ignited along the spacecraft's propulsion system. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, a sudden surge of speed. Keanu and Elon were pushed forward as EOS-1 accelerated unlike anything NASA had ever built. The asteroid wasn't just a speck in the distance anymore. It was real, and it was close. "Jesus," Keanu muttered. "It actually works." Elon smirked. "Told you, Baba Yaga propulsion, baby." Everything was going according to plan, until it wasn't. 3 hours into their mission, alarms blared inside the cockpit. "Warning! Trajectory deviation detected." Keanu's heart pounded. That's not good." Elon scanned the system diagnostics. "What the hell? The asteroid's moving, faster than predicted." Mission Control came through the comms, their voices tense. EOS-1, we're detecting an unexpected gravitational anomaly. The asteroid isn't just on a collision course with Earth, it's being pulled by something. Keanu and Elon exchanged a look. "What do you mean, pulled?" Keanu asked. A long silence. Then Mission Control responded. "We think there's something else out there." Keanu clenched his jaw. "Define something." Mission Control hesitated. "We don't know yet, but whatever it is, it's massive." The asteroid wasn't just a threat, it was a warning, and Keanu Reeves and Elon Musk were about to be the first humans to find out why. As EOS-1 approached the asteroid, a shadow loomed in the distance. Something was there, something not natural. Keanu swallowed hard. "Elon, tell me that's just a weird rock formation." Elon's face was pale. "That's not a rock." The object was metallic, it was moving, and it was waiting for them. Keanu and Elon stared in stunned silence. Floating just beyond the asteroid was an enormous metallic structure, not human-made, not natural. It was something else. It didn't rotate like a normal celestial body. It just hovered, like it was watching. Then, beep, beep, beep. A signal flashed across EOS-1's interface. It wasn't random. It wasn't cosmic radiation. It was a message. Elon's fingers flew across the control panel. "This is a repeating pattern. It's a binary sequence." Keanu frowned. "You mean something is sending this to us?" Elon nodded, eyes wide. "And it's not just any message. It's using prime numbers, a universal language." Mission Control came through the comms, their voices urgent. "EOS-1, do you copy? We're detecting an unknown transmission. Are you receiving this?" Keanu took a deep breath. "Yeah, and I think someone just said hello." Without warning, the metallic structure moved. A massive section of its outer shell shifted, revealing a dark, gaping entrance. Keanu gripped his harness. "Okay, that's definitely an invitation." Elon exhaled, his hand shaking slightly. "We came out here to stop an asteroid, not make first contact." Mission Control's voice was tight. "EOS-1, we advise against approaching. We don't know what this thing is." Keanu and Elon exchanged a look, and then, at the same time, they smirked. "When have we ever played it safe?" Keanu muttered. Elon grinned. "Buckle up, John Wick. We're going in." With a flick of a switch, EOS-1 slowly drifted toward the opening in the alien structure. The ship's lights illuminated the entrance. It wasn't just an asteroid with some metal plating. It was a ship, an ancient ship, and it had been waiting for someone to find it. Keanu's heart pounded as they entered the darkness. Then, the entrance sealed shut behind them. The inside of the ship was silent. Dark corridors stretched in all directions. Strange, intricate symbols glowed faintly along the walls. Elon activated his helmet light. "This place looks abandoned." Keanu ran his gloved hand over the glowing symbols. "Or preserved." As they moved deeper, their suit scanners began picking up something impossible. Oxygen. "This ship has an atmosphere," Elon murmured. "That means—" Before he could finish, the walls came to life. Glowing symbols pulsed, flickering like an ancient machine rebooting after centuries of sleep. And then, a figure appeared in front of them, not a living being, a hologram. It was humanoid, tall and slender, with piercing silver eyes. Its mouth didn't move, but its voice echoed in their minds. "You're late." Keanu and Elon froze. "Late for what?" Keanu asked cautiously. The hologram tilted its head. "For your test?" The hologram raised a hand, and suddenly the walls of the ship shifted, revealing a holographic map of the galaxy. Keanu and Elon could hardly breathe. Planets, stars, alien worlds. And then, the hologram pointed to Earth. A series of ancient calculations appeared, scrolling across the glowing screen. Elon's jaw tightened as he read the numbers. "No way. This can't be right." Keanu turned to him. "What?" Elon's face was pale. "This ship, it's been monitoring Earth for thousands of years." The hologram's voice echoed in their minds again. "Your civilization was never meant to survive this long. You were meant to fail. And yet, you did not." Keanu swallowed hard. "Why? Who decided that?" The hologram's eyes glowed brighter. "We did?" A chill ran down Keanu's spine. "Who is we?" For the first time, the hologram smiled. "The architects?" The hologram raised its hand again, and the asteroid outside shifted. It wasn't just a rock. It was a weapon. A test. Elon's breathing was shallow. "You're telling me this asteroid was never random? You sent it?" The hologram nodded. "We have tested many civilizations. Most fail. But you're different." Keanu clenched his fists. "Why?" "Because we don't give up." The hologram's silver eyes flickered. "Because you are willing to risk everything for a bet." Elon's heart pounded. This wasn't just about stopping an asteroid. This was about proving humanity deserved to exist. Keanu exhaled. "So, what happens now?" The hologram's smile faded. "Now you choose, pass or fail." The symbols on the wall shifted again, revealing two control panels. One was glowing blue, the other red. Elon and Keanu exchanged a look. "What do you think?" Keanu asked. Elon smirked. "Well, we've made crazier bets before." Slowly they reached forward and pressed the button. The ship shook. The asteroid began to change course. Earth was safe. For now, but as the ship's doors reopened, revealing the stars beyond, the hologram's voice whispered one final warning. This was only the beginning. Keanu and Elon stared into the abyss of space. A test, a warning, a challenge. And as EOS-1 powered up its engines, ready to return home, one thing was clear. They weren't just actors or engineers anymore. They were something else entirely. They were humanity's first players in the real game, and the architects were still watching. Keanu and Elon sat in stunned silence as EOS-1 drifted out of the alien vessel. The asteroid had changed course. Earth was safe, but their minds were anything but. Elon broke the silence first. Did we just beat an ancient alien test? Keanu exhaled. I don't think it's over. The hologram's words echoed in their heads. This was only the beginning. Mission Control's voice crackled in their earpieces. EOS-1, do you copy? What the hell just happened up there? Keanu leaned toward the comms. It's a long story. Elon smirked. Let's just say the universe has been watching us for a long time. There was a long pause. Then Mission Control responded. Copy that? As EOS-1 aligned for its return trajectory, Keanu stole one last glance at the alien ship. The doorway had sealed shut. The lights had faded, but he could feel it. It was still watching. The moment they fired the Wick drive, the stars blurred, space folded, and Earth came rushing back into view. The landing of EOS-1 was unlike anything the world had ever seen. The footage of their mission had been partially broadcasted. NASA had no choice. Billions had watched as Keanu and Elon made first contact. The world was forever changed. As they stepped out of the capsule, cameras flashed. Reporters shouted. The entire planet held its breath. The president himself stood at the landing site, flanked by security. "Welcome back, gentlemen," he said, shaking their hands. "You just rewrote human history." Elon grinned. "Yeah, we tend to do that." Keanu simply smiled, but deep down, he knew this wasn't the end. Somewhere, out in the darkness, the architects were waiting, watching, and one day they would return. But when they did, humanity would be ready because of two men who made a bet. A week after their return, Keanu sat alone on a California beach, staring at the ocean. His phone buzzed. Incoming message. Unknown source. He frowned. Opened it. Only one line of text appeared. Your test is not over. Keanu's pulse quickened. Then another message appeared. This time, you won't be alone. His breath caught. He glanced up at the night sky, at the endless stars above. Somewhere out there. The real challenge was just beginning, and the next time they came knocking, Keanu and Elon would be ready. Keanu couldn't sleep. The mysterious message haunted him. Your test is not over. This time, you won't be alone. Who sent it? The architects? Someone else? He knew he had to tell Elon. Grabbing his phone, he dialed. The call barely rang before Elon answered. You got the message too, didn't you? Elon's voice was eerily calm. Keanu exhaled. Yeah. Silence. Then Elon muttered, Meet me at SpaceX. There's something you need to see. Keanu arrived at SpaceX under the cover of night. Elon was already waiting inside a restricted lab, staring at a holographic projection of the solar system. All right, Keanu said, stepping forward. What's going on? Elon didn't answer. He simply zoomed in on a location, deep beneath the surface of Mars. Keanu's breath hitched. Wait, what am I looking at? Elon's eyes flickered with something between fear and excitement. A second signal. Keanu's heart pounded. From the architects? Elon shook his head. Number this one's older. Way older. He tapped the screen, bringing up complex waveforms and ancient energy readings. This thing started transmitting 500,000 years ago, Elon said. And it's still active. Keanu ran a hand through his hair. So what? There's another alien base under Mars? Elon leaned in. Maybe, but that's not the crazy part. He flipped to a final screen. The transmission had been decoded. A single phrase flashed across the display. Find us before they do. Keanu took a slow, deep breath. This just got a whole lot bigger, didn't it? Elon smirked. Oh, yeah. 2 months later, NASA, SpaceX, and a classified international task force launched Project Exodus, a covert mission to uncover the origins of the Mars signal. Keanu and Elon weren't just passengers this time. They were leading the mission. As they suited up for their second launch, Keanu glanced at Elon. "You sure about this?" Elon grinned. "I mean, I was planning a Mars colony anyway. Might as well start with whatever left this message." The countdown began. T minus 10, 9, 8. Keanu smirked. "If we find ancient space ninjas, I'm going to lose my mind." Elon laughed. "You say that like it's impossible." 3, 2, 1, ignition. As their ship ascended, one thought echoed in Keanu's mind. They weren't alone in the universe, but now the real question was, who else was out there? And more importantly, were they friend or foe? Mars was a lifeless red wasteland. At least that's what humanity thought. As Project Exodus's spacecraft, Omen 1, descended toward the surface, Keanu and Elon stared out at the barren terrain below. The signal had been broadcasting from 5 kilometers beneath the surface, deep within a canyon untouched by previous Mars rovers. "All right," Elon muttered, gripping his harness. "Let's see what's hiding under the red dust." The ship touched down. The thrusters kicked up a storm of rust-colored sand. Keanu exhaled. "I hope whatever left that message is friendly." Elon smirked. "Well, if it's not, at least we brought some surprises." He patted the side of his suit, where a prototype plasma weapon was holstered. "Wait, you brought a gun to Mars?" Keanu asked. Elon shrugged. "Hey, Tesla makes everything now." The team suited up and began the descent into the canyon. As they trekked through the jagged terrain, their scanners started malfunctioning. "That's weird," one of the mission specialists muttered. Magnetic interference? Keanu's gut told him something was off. Or a warning? They finally reached the signal's source, a smooth black metallic structure jutting out of the Martian rock. Elon stepped forward, running a gloved hand over it. "This isn't natural." Keanu studied the strange carvings etched into the surface, the same ancient symbols they had seen in the architect's ship. Elon's heart pounded. This thing is 500,000 years old, and it still has power. Then, the ground rumbled. A seam appeared in the metal, a thin, glowing line tracing a perfect doorway. The Martian sand shifted as the door opened with a deep mechanical groan. Beyond it, darkness, and then a pair of glowing blue eyes flickered to life inside. Keanu tensed. "Elon, we might not be alone down here." Elon grinned. "Good, I was getting bored." They stepped inside, and the door sealed shut behind them. The chamber was vast, cold, silent. Strange technology lined the walls, machines unlike anything they had ever seen. And in the center of the room, a figure stood waiting. It wasn't human. It was tall, armored, its metallic surface covered in faded engravings. Its glowing blue eyes locked onto them. Keanu and Elon froze. Then it spoke, not in words, in thoughts. "You are, not them." Keanu swallowed. "Not who?" The figure tilted its head. "The ones who abandoned us." Elon stepped forward. "You sent the message, didn't you?" The figure nodded. "Yes, we have waited. We have watched. And now, you are here." Keanu exhaled. "So, what happens now?" The figure's eyes flashed brighter. "Now, you decide the fate of your species." Keanu and Elon exchanged a look. They had come looking for answers. Instead, they had found something far more terrifying. A choice. And in that moment, one thing became clear. This wasn't just about Earth anymore. This was about the war that was coming, and humanity had just been drafted. Keanu and Elon stood in the eerie glow of the ancient Martian chamber, staring at the Guardian, a relic of an advanced civilization lost to time. "You said we have to decide the fate of our species," Keanu said cautiously. "What does that mean?" The Guardian's glowing blue eyes flickered. "The architects are not the only ones watching you." Elon clenched his fists. "Who else?" The Guardian turned, activating a massive holographic display. Across the stars, countless civilizations appeared, some marked in gold, others in red. Earth was gray. Keanu's stomach tightened. What do these colors mean? The Guardian's voice was solemn. Gold are those who passed the test? Red are those who failed? Elon exhaled. And Earth? The Guardian paused, undecided. Keanu ran a hand through his hair. So what happens if we fail? The hologram zoomed in, revealing a fleet of massive dark ships moving silently through space. The Guardian's voice rang in their minds. They are coming. Elon's mind raced. The architects? The Guardian shook its head. Number something far worse. Keanu clenched his jaw. Then we fight. The Guardian stared at them. Then, slowly, it knelt before them. Then you are ready. The walls of the chamber trembled. Ancient machinery roared to life. A massive door slid open, revealing rows of dormant war machines, ships, and technology far beyond human comprehension. The Guardian rose. Take this knowledge, take this power, prepare your world. For when they arrive, there will be no mercy. Keanu and Elon exchanged one final glance. They had started this as a bet. Now they were the last hope for humanity's survival. No more games, no more tests. The real war had just begun, and this time Earth wouldn't just survive. It would fight back. The end. For now.